Hi and welcome to my soul tribe. My name is Miriam Rose. If you like this video, please make sure to subscribe, set your bell on all, like, comment and share, as I really appreciate all of your support. Now let's get on with the video. Greetings, dear ones. I am Kryon of the Magnetic Service. The group has practiced Coherence today, and each time this occurs in a meeting of this kind, it opens the channeling for greater subjects of love. The question was asked today, can a group help the coherence of one who sits before it, who is not in coherence? The answer is yes. So if you can extend this whole idea of communicated coherence, I will tell you that, although it would appear to be a linear process, it is far bigger than you think. Group coherence, when scientifically measured, is where the individuals in the group are of like mind and a similar emotional state. Today you just went through the actual measurement of those attributes. Imagine for a moment having many people in coherence and thinking about the same thing. It's almost like you have a radio broadcasting station and suddenly it goes way beyond what you think it could. It's not a linear broadcast. Coherence has a propensity to create a greater coherence. This effect hasn't really been measured where one group goes into coherence and another group somewhere else receives it. Coherence is, therefore, an energy that, by its purity, can build on itself. When you start having focused coherence, you start to see that others fall into the same coherence far easier because of those in coherence next to them. It may even seem contagious. This is a premise, dear ones, that we have given you in metaphysics that says that balance broadcasts balance. True balance of consciousness creates energy. When you have one balanced individual in a group of those who are not, or among chaos, that individual is not just one among many, but rather it's like he has generated light in a dark place. People begin to feel the one who is balanced, and their own reaction to that balance then creates other balance. Many times coherence creates more of itself without any conversation at all, and you start to see the power of the created synchronicity that we have called coherence. This is only one attribute of many which is starting to occur on this planet. We told you about another one. We said that light begets light. This means that the light of high consciousness actually creates more of itself in a way that you are not aware of, and that this attribute is not yet explainable to you. If you look at the example of a light worker creating light in a dark place, what you start to see is that light doesn't stay in one place. It is not linear or local, like an object or liquid would be. Light goes everywhere all at once. In a dark room, when someone lights a match, everyone can see a little better. So it doesn't just benefit the one who lit the match. Then eventually others light a match because they see that the one who has lit the first match can see far better than before. They can see their situation better in the light. Pretty soon others get the idea and more can see better. As we have said so many times in these last 30 years, if you can see one another better, then you're not afraid of each other. The fear that has happened on this planet has been generated from those who can't see the other one and who surrounds the wagons, as they say, to protect assets and resources because they do not know about the other cultures and societies, or even their own neighbors. They can't see them, so they fear them. However, when you can see each other, you can see they are just like you. You can see that humanity has so much in common, and even perhaps you worship the same beautiful creator. Perhaps it is in different ways, but when you can see that you all understand the image of God, you begin to relax. What would happen if you had that kind of coherence on the planet, even marginally? What would happen if you started to see one another better, and that formerly dark room, which is humanity, started to be illuminated? When you began to actually see one another, what would that be like? The answer is revelation, and it has already begun. Did you realize that the invention of what you call the internet seems to correspond with all of the things we began to tell you about in our 1989 arrival of Kryon? The internet, dear ones, has allowed so many people on this planet to see you and you to see them. The new social media that is being used by hundreds of millions of people is all about seeing beyond borders and for the first time actually viewing how other cultures live. This therefore allows for revelation because of their similarities. That's a different paradigm on this planet from any other time in history. It is a revelation about humanity. There are those who say, well, this whole technology explosion is dangerous to us. It actually takes away from the socialization of individuals with individuals. If that's you, then perhaps you are not appreciating the bigger picture. For the first time on the planet, cultures are looking at each other differently. Instead of simply listening to their leaders regarding who they should or should not fear, young people all over the world are starting to see other young people in foreign lands. They are doing this not as individual to individual, but a mass by the millions. They are beginning to realize that others are not as they were told. When you can tune in and talk to regular people in country after country after country, you start to see something and you get a coherence of understanding. There is the realization that you all want the same thing. What would happen if you dedicated a day or two to just understand one another? Perhaps you would call it Understanding Day, where the whole idea would be to put yourself in a place of compassionate understanding with people in foreign places. Let's say you could do that in that day, in that moment. If you could then poll every human and ask them this question: can you ever see a reason for the horror of war? What do you think the answer would be? The answer would be a no. That's correct. They would all say no, overwhelmingly. Then you would start to understand the dysfunction of what war does and how a few can affect the many. Then you begin to realize how the power can override those who are not, and you start to realize how your internet has changed everything. It lets you see into the hearts of those you never knew before. It's an example, dear ones, of technology that's ready for its time. It's an example that perhaps not all technology is bad. It requires that a balance is needed of technology and humanism. It is all part of the evolvement of humanity using the tools at hand, and more is coming. What is fast track to enlightenment, you may ask? One of the questions that has not been asked out loud is, what is the fast track to enlightenment? And here is the answer. It is the ability to sit down and be loved. In that state, information flows to you from your own library within. This is information that I have given many times in different ways, and it speaks of your own life history, and it starts with the mother, those who were the early days that many of you can't remember, of being cuddled and held and loved and taken care of. There was nothing like it. All the chemistry was there of perfect unconditional love. You don't have to be smart or intelligent or evolved, dear ones, to understand love. You don't have to be smart or intelligent. You don't have to have intellectual understanding of consciousness to be loved. You just don't. The same care and love of mother is pouring at you right now from the creative source. It's pouring at you. However, there is an invisible shield that keeps it away, and it bounces right off this self-created barrier. This shield keeps all that caring and love from being seen and felt, and you can give it as many names as you want, but the shield is strong, so much so that you don't even know that love is even there. You can call this shield lack of belief or the fear of change. You can also be trained out of it by those you trust, or you can be too smart to be interested in such odd things as metaphysics. What about a metaphysical shield? A spiritual shield? Can you be fully engulfed in the study of energy and still have this shield? Yes, we will call it intellectual metaphysics. This is where someone is so involved in the mysteries of metaphysics and all the energy that they never feel the love. They're just too much into themselves of how things work to stop and be loved. Ask yourself, are you really interested in all the mystery school information and how energy may have been developed with consciousness of the past and all the mysterious historical structures and what they mean? But you don't really want to listen to Kryon. That's a shield. You want everything but the love. Yet the love is the answer to a much more balanced and healthy life. You want to cook the meal over and over but never eat it. You study gourmet cooking, then dash out to eat fast food. Isn't it time to stop that shield? How about finally recognizing it and simply dropping it? Say it. Fear of truth is keeping you where you are. Can you forget everything you were taught just for a minute, right or wrong, or black and white, and just sit there? If you could do this, the shields will come dropping down for a moment. Do you dare ask yourself, what if everything I thought I knew or was told is simply the 3D version of multiple D? What if everything I thought and believed was in black and white and there is color everywhere? If you can get to neutral, even for a moment, in comes the love of God and starts the lesson. This is what compassion is like. This is what love is like. Emulate it, be it, understand it. This is the revelation of those who have been there. Even the highest scientists, engineers and politicians have experienced this. It is not just for the few. If you can go to that place, then you start understanding how to arrange and balance your beliefs and how to arrange your metaphysics and how to react to energy. Then your entire world starts to expand. How many of you were told that you had to build a shield around yourself to keep certain things from happening? Well, I will tell you what it often does. It keeps you from being loved because you have got a shield of fear. You think you're shielding the darkness, but you're shielding everything including balance. Did you know that? Don't you feel that? There are so many who still don't truly understand, how to sit and be loved. They worry even about their own belief system. Am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? They worry about dark energy as though they had no light at all within themselves to change it. Many actually make up things to enhance the worry because it's a habit. They often get worry support groups going. If you can sit there and be loved just for a moment, everything starts to snap into balance. It can rewrite your old program of what you think is important if you will allow it. We have said this before, this is the goal. If you want to know what enlightenment is and you want to know about real truth, sit and be loved. The information will come directly from the image of God inside you, unblocked by the shield of unbelief. The masters who walked this planet had a lot of followers. While the masters walked the planet, and 4 generations later, many of the followers would get together and decide the meaning to be gleaned from what the masters said and did. They also decided what rules should be built around their lives. However, one rule was quite often missed: emulate these masters. That's what they came here for. When they would do miraculous things and when they taught about love, emulate this. The masters personified love, emulate this. Today there is a different energy on this planet. It's starting to shift in consciousness away from the darkness. Be aware that your media is not showing it, for your media is part of the worry machine. The real media of light is your coherence, balance and emulation of the masters, for that creates light that goes everywhere. We are asking each one of you to take the mantle of a kind master if you wish. It's where you can emulate the creator with your consciousness and your higher self, and it becomes the integration where you can stand up anywhere in society and be peaceful. People will be attracted to you, and when they ask you about your inner quietness, you are not going to give them a doctrine. Instead, you're going to give them love. What a concept, what a concept. You are going to give them time, compassion and understanding. You're going to give them a compassion that's infectious. It's healing and joyful. There are those who will simply want to walk with you because they feel safe with you. Disease won't be attracted to you because you're balanced and you're broadcasting it. Sound too esoteric? Ask a doctor. Does fear, unbalance and stress create disease? Should I tell you that this shield of yours is a leading doctor that allows disease? Are you getting the truth of this? When they ask you how you balance, you can say it is all about the release of fear and embracing a great love concept of who the creator is. Tell them you are aware that you are here on purpose and not a victim of this planet. Tell them you are actually experiencing it. Listen, you do not have to give them a Kryon book. Just tell them about yourself and how you feel and how it has changed you. So many of you know and have seen what laughter can do and how it actually creates more laughter. In a group, when one person is laughing for a time, it will eventually catalyze all of them laughing. That's what we are talking about. That's the attribute of light. That's the beautiful part of compassion and joy. Laughter is a consciousness and isn't just an emotion or a cause and effect chemical attribute. It's beautiful and sends great healing energy to those around you. We say again that there are those light workers who chase away others because they are so aggressive with their unusualness. Many are very proud of this. Ask them, are you aware that you are so unusual that you chase away people? And they will say, yes, that's my task. I have to be unusual to hold the energy of this planet. Being unusual and odd and holding the energy of the planet was the staple of light workers in a much older energy. Now it's not that way. That was then and this is now. In this new energy, you have thousands who are joyful and spreading light. They are no longer just holding energy. They are holding and spreading it. Once you understand the difference between the old planetary energy and the new energy, I will tell you what the revelation is. You're going to hold the energy of the planet tenfold and spread your energy with some joy and balance. You never were more powerful. Perhaps somebody may ask you what you believe in. You might tell them gently, I believe in beautiful energies that surround me. I believe in angels. I believe that there are processes of God we do not understand that are able to work with our lives. Dear ones, if you do this in balance and love, many are going to say, tell me more. They're not going to run the other way. That's the difference today, light worker, old soul. That's the difference. Welcome to a new age, a real new age. This is not an evangelistic point of view, but rather one where light is attractive and compassion even more attractive. Balance is kind, and that's why you are here. This message has been brought to you by all the angels and the ones who are cheering in an esoteric stadium right now. All together, go do it. Go do it. Dear ones, today you have help. The wind is at your back. Now go do it. This is the message of Kryon and always will be. And so it is. Kryon. Such a meaningful channeling. I hope you got something out of it. I hope you enjoyed this video. With absolute love and gratitude. Cosmic kisses to everyone. Till next time. Bye for now.